everyone, hope you're doing well. Today it's time to have a look at a devblog for the next season of the Battle Pass. Obviously with the other one only having about a week left to go, we were going to get some news about the new one coming up, and starting off with a devblog for a ship, which seems to be the standard way to do these things now. The ship in question for the Battle Pass is a rank 3 premium destroyer for the Blue Water Fleet tree, and it is the HMS Cadiz for the British. This is actually looking like a really nice destroyer. It has a ton of secondary guns on it, very similar to a few other battle class ships that we already have in game. I believe this is actually going to be the third battle class ship when it comes to the game, showing how similar a lot of destroyers are compared to each other. But when it comes to battle pass vehicles, this one fits pretty well. I was kind of saddened by the last Battle Pass's theme. I didn't think it was very powerful. It's not very memorable either. And even when I got to level 150 on it, only getting a title called level 150 Attacker Pilot, I thought was pretty naff. So hopefully, with this new season of the Battle Pass, it has a really interesting theme, and it has some really interesting stuff going on with it. Let's have a look at the history of the HMS Cadiz. The HMS Cadiz was laid down at the Scottish shipyard of the Fairfield Shipbuilding and Engineering Company in 1944, but was commissioned after the end of the war in April 1946. The ship was assigned to the home fleet and participated in diplomatic cruises, exercises, and also in the Coronation Review in 1953 to celebrate the coronation of the Queen Elizabeth II. And in 1956, the destroyer was sold to the Pakistan Navy. Before being sent to a new home port, the ship was modernized though and also refitted and received a new name, the PNS Khyber. And in 1971, during the Indo-Pakistani War, the destroyer Khyber was sunk as a result of 2 hits by Soviet-made P-15 Termit anti-ship missiles launched by the Indian missile boat Nirgat. This was the first effective use of missiles by this class by the Indian Navy. Imagine being the first of something and the first is that you were annihilated. That definitely sucks when it comes to the vehicle, but I'm pretty sure we obviously get the variant before it was destroyed by a set of missiles. So when it comes to the Cadiz, or the HMS Cadiz, it is actually looking pretty nice, and also joins a BR for the British, which is incredibly strong. You've got that 4347 area where British destroyers just kind of take over, because they have really good fire rates on their main guns, and also very decent secondaries, and also decent torpedoes to be able to back them up. When we have a look at the Cadiz, if it is left alone and not going up against, a decent opposition, then you can see how much damage output this thing can go in, especially in a second spawn. As a first spawn, I feel like there are better options, but remember, around these BRs, you have plenty of options for the British. Then the main reason why I say I don't think this is more of a first spawn vehicle is because it doesn't really have enough main armament to be really putting out the damage. This vehicle has 2 main turrets on it. It's 2 dual mounts of 140mm cannons on the front of it, and nowhere else. The rest is just AA and also torpedoes. And generally this can help you, but it can also hinder you. So helping wise, it means that you can actually point the ship towards the targets and go towards them and be able to get all of your main fire at the enemy ships. And what this means is you have a good high rate of fire with these guns, so you can pretty much just hit everything and then leave your AA guns to be able to defend you against aircraft. Now this works really, really well, and it means that you can get to positions on the map quickly, which is great. But also, there is a problem, and the problem is, because your 2 main turrets are in the front of the machine, and only in the front of the machine, it means they're super easy to knock out, meaning that all a person has to do is shoot at the, yes, smaller silhouette, obviously, because they're coming straight towards you, but they just have to shoot at that area, get a hit on the center, and that's at least 1 turret knocked out. What also it means is your major ammo rack is in the front of the ship. So you are pointing your front at the enemy to get your shots off, and also at the same time you are pointing your ammo rack at them, meaning that they can just pop you, which is something that's happened many times while I've been playing the battle class destroyers. So they're very much a feast or famine ship, depending on the situation that you're in. Now, when it comes to other armaments on it, it does actually have a hell of a complement of really nice AA stuff on the back. So it would be good against smaller ships, and also it'll be good against planes. This thing has 4 twin Bofors guns, and also has 6 single mounts of them as well. So it has a total of 14 40mm on the vehicle itself, which is absolutely fantastic to be able to defend you against air attacks. It also has access to 2 5-tube torpedo launchers, which will be nice as well. One of the things I would note about torpedoes generally for the British on a lot of their destroyers, they have really weird arcs of fire. So maybe this one won't have that, but maybe it will. So you've got to be able to make sure to understand that. It's one of the little issues of it, of these British destroyers, but hopefully this one won't have that issue. And if that is the case, then that whole thing about pointing your front towards the enemy and taking them out with the fast-firing guns doesn't really fit too well, because you have to turn anyway to get your torpedoes off. But at the end of the day, what this machine is it's a premium destroyer, which is very similar to other destroyers which are in the standard tech tree, and you can get it by grinding out the next set of the battle pass, and I think this is generally pretty good. Also, at the same time, it's a rank 3 machine. This means that it's going to be useful to be able to get the it's going to be useful because you'll be able to get the dailies done in it, you'll be able to get the specials done in it, you'll also be able to sort out a few other things in it, such as the events that happen. You know, you could be able to grind those out. So overall, I think this is actually quite a nice addition to the game. I would always want to see these Battle Pass machines or event machines be rank 3 or higher, whether they be premium or not, just because they actually have more use than just grinding out the tech tree. Nowadays, when it comes to War Thunder, there are so many different facets going on. There are so many different things which are happening in the game. It's nice to have a multi-role vehicle that can do everything. Not just research the tech tree, but also do the Battle Pass stuff, also do dailies, also do specials, also do events, also do maybe even Memorial Date events when they come around, you know, since they seem to be making those a more monthly thing now. So yeah, the Cadiz fits all of these descriptions, which is fantastic for the machine, and also at the same time it's very similar to the machines that you may have seen before. I am slightly worried about it because of its general structure, but it really depends on how accurate the enemy is when they come to shooting the front of your machine. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Merciless Reaper, Jerry Provolt, Mega Dino King, Professor X1718, Orange Tail, Sakoshi Tiger, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, Moxie, B. Young, and Derek R., Barine, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.